Now we've already talked about how when you first boot up the Kronos it goes into set list mode, which is basically just a shortcut list where you can jump to assigned combis, programs, and sequences that you've been working on. But before we get into dealing with the set list, what I'd like to do is kind of cover and go over how to navigate sounds in program mode and also combi mode, because this is what you're going to be doing whenever you first start working with the Kronos in almost every situation. You're going to be selecting sounds. So let's go ahead and first click on the program button. We're going to be taking the program mode. You'll see here it actually shows a image of a piano there, and it says Kronos German Grand. Now there's tons of different piano sounds in the Kronos. We can actually click on this first button here. It kind of looks like a white bar with keyboard in it, but you can tell it has a little bit of a drop shadow. If we click on this, this is how you select your category. So on the far left here you see it says keyboard, organ, bell, mallet, strings, and so forth. And what's cool about this is each one of those categories also has a subcategory. And you can see that keyboard, right now we're selected on all, but if we wanted to, we could click on A for analog piano. We could click on the next one down, which is for synth, e-piano, or electronic piano. And then depending on which category you're in, let's click on strings. You can see that there's ensemble and solo. If we go to guitar, that's a good one too. You can see there's A for analog guitar or acoustic guitar, and then there's E for electric guitar, and also plucked, which is a totally different type of instrument there. So anytime, let's say we wanted to pick up an electric guitar sound, we could navigate to this, and then we could just click on any one of these, and we could preview those. So once you've selected the sound, that way you can press OK, and you can be taken back to the play page, which is this first one under program mode here. And you can see there's different parameters on this screen too, and we'll get into that a little bit later videos where we're going to show how to do some play edits and also drill down and do complex edits as well. Real quickly, another couple ways you can navigate sounds. It's not as effective as going through the categories, but if you have this number and name highlighted in black, you can use the increment and decrement buttons, or the up and down buttons, and you can scroll through these. And this goes in numerical order, so it's jumping around. It's not only, browsing guitar sounds, it's actually just going in order. And then you can also use the scroll wheel to jog through these. Let's say for some reason you have the particular patch memorized. It's number 72 or something like that, and you just wanted to quickly go over to it, you could do that. And then also there's a little flyout menu. Anytime you see this on the Kronos, it's kind of the same way for the M3 as well. To the left, that little arrow button. If we click on this, we get another pop-up menu here, and this one's a little different than category. It's kind of the same though. There's tabs on the left, but the only difference is here that you're navigating through the banks rather than based on category. And that's another thing too about the category feature, is that whenever you write or edit or program or start from scratch, you're making your own program or performing edits, there's actually a parameter in there where you can assign it to be to a different category and change the category if you want to. So that's how those show up in their individual categories. So now let's go ahead and cancel out of this, and let's go over to combi mode. You'll see it's very similar. The same thing, if we click on the top button up there, you can see that there's different categories and then also subcategories of combis. So now we have a string selected. Now the thing about combis is to remember that this is where you're going to have multiple layers of programs. So programs is your individual sounds, combis is your layers and splits, and you have up to 16. So you can see here this one has looks like 7 programs that are layered together to give you that really rich layered string sound. So it's really cool that you can be able to combine those programs in that way. As far as navigating, this is pretty much the same. You can go up and down. If it's highlighted, you can use the scroll wheel. You can also go to the banks, and inside the banks you can click on the individual combis that you want to use. So this pretty much covers navigating sounds from program and combi mode in the Korg Kronos.